Hello everyone, Gomez here from the LAN Party channel again with more card reviews. Hopefully we'll be getting a champion tonight. Obviously we've got no idea, we were expecting to get a champion yesterday, but we were given more followers and such. So hopefully tonight, but who knows, this might just be an elaborate ruse and there will not be a champion tonight, but hopefully there will be. Let's get in and see what the cards are tonight. Okay, so Twitter, there was nothing on Twitter, but Mobilix has come to the rescue again, showing us these new cards. There is no champion, which leads me to believe, is Riot just gonna like completely screw with us and make us think, there's gonna be a champion, there's gonna be a champion, and then they don't reveal any champions until like the last day or two. But these are cards today that Mobilix is showing us, so they are looking like they're very much like they're Bandle City cards, but some of them are Bandle City Bilgewater. All of them have got a very Fizz kind of feel to them in the fact that they are all kind of like sea orientated, and obviously we know that Fizz is a cross-region card with Bandle City, so maybe some of this is in there for synergy for him, because we already know that we've got the Teemo synergy already going on, so at some point we're probably going to get a lot more synergy which works maybe with Lulu and as well, maybe some Heimer support. But anyway, let's get into these cards. So we've got the first one, it's a one mana burst speed card, which is Trinket Trade, which is a manifest card, so another card which is manifesting. So manifest an Octopus, which the Octopus is actually down here, and it is actually a main deckable card as well, so it's not just a token card that gets created by this card, it is a main thing. So the Octopus is an Attune, one cost, 1/1, who's obviously give you that mana, and when I'm summoned, create a prank in hand. I've got no idea what the hell that is, but we do actually get to see there's a number of cards which create pranks, but we'll get to them when we get to them, and we're slowly but surely make our way through the cards and get there. So we're making either one of those one cost 1/1s which you tune, or one of two spells from your region that costs 3 or less. So obviously if you're running this, there's all the Bandle City ones, which this maybe can make itself, because this is actually a card, this is actually a spell card within its regions, which costs obviously whichever other region you're running yourself with. This is very obviously like a Fizz activator, because it's a very cheap burst speed spell which can activate him, meaning that you can protect him from something or make him elusive to go in for an attack turn, as well as obviously helping towards his level up. That's where this is getting in. But so we are manifesting either one of those octopuses or one of two spells, which I'm assuming it then shows you the two spells, and then yeah, again you pick which one you want. So that's when the manifest keywords coming in again. We've got a 5 mana burst speed shell game, which is refill your spell mana, give an ally elusive, and plus 1/1 this round. So yeah, again, this is something which it's refilling the mana. So this is basically a so it's 5 mana, but if you've got more spells and whatnot in hand, this is basically 2 mana, and then you're refilling that spell mana, meaning that you could then cast another spell. It's doing that as well as giving an ally elusive and plus 1/1 this round. So you can obviously decide whoever the hell you want to give this to. You can give this to like a more powerful unit, obviously, so that it's doing that damage in elusively, especially if you've got a unit that's got overwhelmed, maybe, because there's not many elusive stat lines whereby it can defend against such things, obviously, unless your opponent makes something elusive that's got a bigger stat line or uses sharp sight or whatnot. It obviously depends on what you're up against, but it is refilling the spell base. So this is basically like almost like a 2 mana card, because of its refilling of the spell mana. I say that it's whether or not you've already got spell mana, like full spell mana, but it's one of those things where yet again it's a nice little card to have in the game for Fizz. This works very nicely with Fizz, depending on how much mana you've got, because you could use Fizz's spell, which is 4 mana, so you'd have to work it out perfectly to be able to make something elusive with plus stats. If you've got Fizz and whatnot on the board as well, going forward, making sure that you use these spell to rally, and then you can hit forward again, so it opens up like lines of play such as that, as well as obviously giving you elusive defense as well if you needed it. If somebody was going elusive, you can use this spell to make something elusive and defend yourself. Yes, it's for Bandle City to have this kind of coverage for elusive, it's not that bad at all. So into the next one, which is a 2 mana fast speed, which is the tentacles. Your opponent discards their so we've already seen that there's the Bandle City P&Z card, which draws and discards the highest. This is now, yet again, even more hand disruption coming in from Bandle City, whereby your opponent discards their lowest cost card. And this is where the difference is, right? This is the difference. This card is a far more powerful card than the Noxian one. Number one, the Noxian one is a slow speed spell, which is so for anyone who doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about, it's the Hunt the Weak, I think it's called. It's a 2-mana slow speed. The reason why this is better than this, number one, it's fast speed. Number two, it says on the other card, discard the lowest cost follower, I believe. Whereas this actually, so it has to be a follower card. Like if your opponent's got nothing but spells in the hand, it doesn't discard anything. This will discard the lowest cost card, even if that card is a champion. Say it's Zoe, say it's Teemo, say it's Fizz. Like this can make your opponent actually discard one of their champions, or one of their lower cost good curve cards. It's actually quite a powerful card. Like the amount of hand disruption which is happening here, which this does actually work very nicely against what's his face as well. I was gonna say against aggro, because obviously you can get rid of those very why is my mind not being able to say words right now? Small cost cards, low cost cards, that's the way. Low cost cards that they've got that they just stack the board and just throw a bunch of things on the board. If you can get rid of one of their really good ones, then this could actually be quite a nice disruptor for aggro as well. Obviously, the only aggro that this kind of helps is discard aggro. Thank you for getting rid of my jerry rig and for getting rid of my, what's his face, flame choppers. I wanted that. They suddenly build a bigger board than you. Crap, I was supposed to be trying to beat them. But still, nonetheless, really good card. I do like this. I like the idea of hand disruption because it's one of those kind of cards, and as well, the fact that it's fast speed as well, so technically it is counterable. And what can happen here is that if somebody's using this card against you, if you've got a low mana card, that is a burst speed or fast speed spell that you don't want to get thrown away because you want to use it, you can actually use it before it takes effect, and then it will be another card that gets taken away from you. So it gives you that, as well as this is very easily in Notify territory, as well as Deny, Right of Negation. There is ways around this, but it is a nice card, a nice hand disruption. I like hand disruption. It's not something that we've seen too much of in Runeterra. I know that you haven't got as much of a draw base as you do in other games, but it's still a nice thing to see. So I'm kind of happy to see cards like this which are do it. So it's the lowest cost card, and obviously it gives your opponent a chance to react to it. So that's nice. Let's go on. We've got Short Tooth, which obviously is the comedy of the fact that this is actually, it's 1 mana. It's a 4/2 overwhelm. Oh no, it's just realized it's not a main deckable card. I was gonna say that it's like Long Tooth, right? The one that comes off of Fizz, but it's better because the only other way to use that is the 4 mana spell, which makes something vulnerable and then summons him, which is again the 4/2 of Overwhelm. So this card gets made by Shark Trainer, which is again very adorable art. And I do actually really like the artwork that's going on in this whole set thing. I mean, he's eating somebody else's hand here, but the whole art here is very nice. So we've got the Shark Trainer, which if I do this, does that actually makes it in a little bit of a better place. So when allies attack, spend 1 mana to summon. So what is happening here is this is saying when allies attack, so this doesn't necessarily have to attack. It is 8 mana, it is a Yordle, and it is dual region. It's 6/6 as well. But, which it said, so this doesn't actually have to attack itself, but obviously with those stat lines, there's no reason why it wouldn't go forward. And by the time that you are spending 7 mana to get this on the board, you kind of want to be going forward with everything you've got. So when allies attack, spend 1 mana to summon an attacking. So if everyone's attacking, this just summons, like a lease and like other cards that we've seen whereby it summons, it will summon this, which is 4/2 with Overwhelm to be attacking forward as well. Not a bad card. Not a bad card at all to be having these things continuously coming out and doing damage. It's the Overwhelm, which just gives it that little bit that's nice as well. So it's actually even better than Fizz, because obviously Fizz gives you Long Tooth, but you've then got to play him, whereas this is just instantly, once you're attacking forward, you go for the open and you're immediately getting this on the board without having to play the spell or whatnot. So see, If only Fizz did that. Whenever Fizz attacks forward, just like put Longtooth on there. But anyway, yeah, that's that card. So now we're getting into these, these cards, there's a few of them. So the Octopus, we already know you can make through the other one, but it is, so when I'm created, make a prank in hand. I've got no idea what the hell this is. Hopefully when I go back to the Twitter, it might show what that means. But we've got the Kelp Maidens as well, which is a 2-mana elusive 2/1, which is when they Nexus strike, which they're elusive, so they might be able to hit into the Nexus, create a prank in hand. So, like, you can literally troll your opponent by looks things with these pranks. I don't know what these pranks do. It probably is going to be some kind of trap card, like to add, like the shrooms add traps to cards. It's probably going to be trapping something, and we do already know that Ava does make traps trigger twice, and it specifically says on her card that traps trigger twice, so it's not just puff caps triggered twice. So any other kind of traps that they add into the game, Ava will make them trigger twice. It's very important to remember this fact. So this is going to be, whatever these pranks are, I really want to find out, if I'm going to be honest. So we've got another card here, which is a 2-mana Yodel, which is 2/2, which is a manifest, another manifest card. Manifest a spell from your regions that costs 3 or less. So yeah, again, that could go into that other manifest spell, if you, this, but whatever other region that you're running yourself with, you've always got the way of being able to give yourself, like, so it does like manifest a spell. So whether or not, this is where I need to understand how manifest works. I thought the manifest was just like going to be a discovery kind of thing, whereby it showed you 3 options all the time, because the first manifest card that we saw was a manifest this, this, and this. This one's now saying like a manifest a spell from your card. So I'm hoping that it gives you 3 options, but I don't know how many options it's going to give you, or whether or not it's just going to give you 1 option and you have to choose it. With this other, with the first one, it is manifest an octopus, so you've got that choice, or 1 of 2 spells, so it will give you 2 spells and the octopus. So maybe because that is 3 options, I'm assuming that it's always going to be 3 options, but I might be wrong. I can't remember what the card text said for manifest. I'd have to go back and have a read of that, but still not a bad thing for spells and helping with Fizz, as well as just like yet again, if you're running a Teemo deck with Puffcat Peddler and things, any kind of low costy spells that you can get your hands on to continuously trigger that Puffcat Peddler, it's not a bad thing, right? So that's that card. Let's go in for a 4-mana 4/3, which is when I'm summoned, create 2 pranks in hand. So yet again, we've got more prank stuff going on. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Fuck! I didn't actually realize that prank was on the end. Okay, so this is what this does. It's not main deckable, because obviously it's a token card, so this is prank. Let's see what the hell you do. I should have, because I had a quick little look through the idea of them, but I didn't actually physically look at them properly, because obviously I wanted to get my first reactions on camera. So prank is pick 1 of 2 non-champion cards from your opponent's, from your enemy deck, and prank it. That doesn't really tell me what prank does. That doesn't tell me what prank does. All it tells me is that you get to pick 1 of 2 non-champion cards in your opponent's hand or deck. So this could actually be, so this is where it's different, because I think that trap cards have to be cards in the deck, because it's when they're drawn, like trap says, when it's drawn, resolve the trap. So this says from the enemy's hand or deck, so that necessarily doesn't, so if it's in your opponent's hand, they're not being drawn. So whatever this prank is, maybe when they use that card, but here's what I need to know. Does your opponent know what card is pranked in their hand if it is a card in hand? That is the question that I very much need to know. And also I need to know, what the hell does the prank do? Because this doesn't really explain that it was good. But there's lots of cards, but there are cards that make pranks. I want to discover what this does, because if this is a really funny banter way of, like, if it does something really funny, I would love to know it. It depends how crippling it is to your opponent. But bear in mind as well, this is a 1-mana focus focus speed. So yet again, it's helping Fizz, and it's also helping if you were using Puffcat Peddler and things along those lines. So it's a good thing for the region. But I want to know what pranks do. What do prank cards do, Riot? Show me, because it's the fact that it says from in hand or in the deck, which would lead me to believe that if it's a card in the hand, your opponent may or may not be aware of it, and when they use it, it's going to make something else happen than what they expected to happen. That's all I can think is what prank does, because it doesn't, because like I said, it's not like it's, if it was just in the deck, I'll just say, oh, it's going to add a trap to those cards, and it means that when they draw them, it's going to make such and such happen. Not as easy as that, but I would love to know. Let's have a little look and see whether anything gets explained on the Twitter since... Okay, so I've just quickly had a look. It's on Twitter now. They've actually now done it. So on Twitter, as you can see here, when you are applying a prank, you get to decide what it's going to be negative effects that you are putting on these cards. So it's either going to be like grant -2 power, so this can't see your River Shaper can't strike and give you your spell. So it could be grant 1 less power and can't block. See, so there's actually like certain things. It depends on how many different negative effects there are, but some of these are going to be quite powerful. Like I said, like this grant 2 -2 is very powerful against the River Shaper. The fact that you can make it so this cannot block is because the grant -1 is less of an issue, because every single time that they barrier, they're going to be getting more like plus stats anyway. But the fact that you can make it so that they can't block means that that's going to be an attack stat, which could be very problematic for some other things, means you don't have to worry about it. So it depends on how many negative effects there are. But okay, right, now I'm down for pranks. I must make a magnificently funny prank deck when this comes out. But yes, we get to see all the cards again with the prank keyword, with the prank word and whatnot. I love all these cards, but I would love to know what you think of these cards down in the comment section down below. Please let me know what you think about this. I love the design and the fact that there's little things like this that are going to be added to the game. The fact that Bandle City is bringing this trickery and whatnot, I just love it all. So let me know what you think as well as obviously shameless plug time, Twitch, Twitter and Instagram. Let me know what you think of what you said, like all these things, but also if you want to catch the action live Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays over on Twitch. And the Discord link is down below, where there is currently still a week. You've still got 1 week to get involved in the custom card contest that's going on, and then potentially win yourself some prizes. So if you've got any ideas for cards, champions, spells, whatever, I would love to hear them so that you can get yourself involved and maybe win a little bit of money. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed yourself, why not consider hitting that subscribe button, but don't feel forced into anything. I basically mumbled through most of this, so I do apologise for that. But hopefully I will see you for more reveals tomorrow, and hopefully we will get our first champion. Although I think that Riot is just gonna like play this out until the very end. But honestly, thank you. Hope you have a great day, evening, night, whatever it is. Until next time, goodbye. From flash of brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.